I cried along the way as I was driving. I didn't want to go back into that broken home yet, so I kept driving and driving. We made a spot to a nearby park. I parked there and just cried. I told my daughter nothing was wrong when she asked me why I keep crying. Suddenly,
oh no,
my daughter goes, "Mommy, there's a grandma outside the door. I think she wants to come in."
What's up, you guys? Watch us on YouTube, listen on Spotify.
Overall, listen to our podcast and follow us on all of our social media.
Now let's get back to the podcast. Sincerely, Bestie. Hi guys, this is Sincerely Bestie. I'm your host, Krystal.
And I'm Nancy.
Today we'll be talking about our spooky stories that we've read online and found on Reddit. But before we do that, we're going to talk about a little bit life update and also what we're wearing today. If you guys are listening on the Spotify or any listening devices, what is it called? Apple, Discord, all of that. Make sure to check out YouTube to see what we're wearing today. Today I'm dressed up as a Bratz doll. I can't really tell if I'm Sasha, Yasmin, or Jade, but maybe a little of all three. Yeah. So, and Nancy.
I'm Cruella DeVille.
So cute.
I was going to get a little fake dog too, but I didn't want to go searching for one.
How come you chose this costume?
I don't know. I just came across it.
I know, you showed me. You're like, I'm going to do this. I was like, oh, okay. That's out of nowhere.
I don't know. I think it's because like I was just looking up costumes and I saw it and I was like, huh.
It's the easiest, huh?
I'll do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not too hard.
No, I've always wanted to be a Bratz doll. I grew up playing Bratz games on the PS2 and everything. And I love playing all their games. I bought all of them. I finished all of them, and I wanted them. And I think they made a new one for the Nintendo, but it's not the same. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of like Dumb Task and stuff like that. But
did you used to play like with the dolls though?
Yeah, I used to buy them, but
I wasn't a Bratz.
Really?
I wasn't a Bratz doll. No.
But I still tend to be more towards Barbie, I think. Yeah. Just because Bratz doll, they had a bigger head, you know. Mm-hmm. So maybe just look a little funny.
They're coming back too, though.
Yeah, they are.
It's crazy.
I want them to make another movie. I think that'd be so good. Did you ever see the movie, the live action one?
No.
I love that one.
I watched the cartoon ones.
Oh, uh-huh.
But not the live action.
Oh, you should. It's so cringy, but it's so cute.
You know why I also thought why I did the costume? Because Aston likes to watch the 101 Dalmatians.
Oh,
it's like it's like a cartoon series. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Aston, I'm gonna be that then. Yeah.
Have you seen the live action one? That one's so good. Oh, yeah. I like that one. Yeah. I was really surprised by it. I didn't think it was gonna be like about fashion. So I thought it was gonna be 10.
Wait, like the new one or the old one?
The newer one. Are they both about fashion?
Oh no, there's only one.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm thinking of 101 Dalmatian.
I'm talking about Cruella. Sorry,
the one with Emma
Stone.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I like it. Mm-hmm. I liked it. It's different, but I liked it.
So, what have you done during this spooky season, October?
I still have not gone to a pumpkin patch.
We're all same.
I keep telling myself we're gonna go, but I don't think we're gonna go. Actually,
no. Are you guys gonna go this weekend? Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. I keep telling Asa, I was like, we can go. I'll take you. But I'm just like, do I really want to go? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Otherwise, I haven't really done much. I got Aston's costume. We are doing the Incredibles. So she's Violet. I'm Miss Incredibles. And then Robert's Mr. Incredible.
How cute.
But Robert and I only have the shirt. So I don't want to buy the whole costume.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And are you guys doing anything for Halloween? Like a party, anything?
Probably just trick-or-treating.
Oh, okay.
Around my sister's neighborhood. She says that because she has a coworker. And she says that every year they do like some type of contest, decorating contest. Oh. So we're going to go over there. And
just check it out?
Go trick-or-treating over there. Mm-hmm. But other than we haven't really done anything.
Have you guys carved pumpkins or painted pumpkins?
Girl, no.
No? You guys should.
I'm telling you, I'm so behind on this.
Yeah.
Year. It's so bad.
I know. I was telling our coworkers at work that there's just not enough weeks in October to do everything that you want to.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? There's carving pumpkins, painting, pumpkin patch, haunted houses, and then, like, Lagoon here in Utah. It's an amusement park. That, too. They're, what is it called?
It's like Fright Night.
Yeah, Frightmares.
Frightmares, there you go.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Have you ever gone?
During Frightmares?
Uh-huh.
No.
Never?
Never.
I went 1 year.
How was it?
It was okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that much different.
It wasn't bad. That was like forever ago.
Yeah. I think Thanksgiving's our thing.
Nancy's?
Our thing. Well, just in general.
Oh, you guys.
I feel like October's hard because October Robert's hunting. So he's barely like home.
So you guys are busy during the
always
weekend.
Yeah. So I feel like October is just like a busy month overall now. Yeah.
You guys enjoy Thanksgiving a little bit more? Just
Yeah,
for the cooking part of it or what?
I enjoy it.
Robert enjoys it.
I don't know about Nancy.
It's
I feel
okay.
like Thanksgiving's my least favorite because of that.
I think I only like it because I get to go Black Friday shop.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only thing I look forward to because I'm a shopaholic, so.
Yeah. I'm so excited too. I need to start writing lists because I keep like thinking of stuff and then I'll forget it when it's like time to like spend money. And I'm like, oh, what was I going to buy? I swear. Because like when Amazon was having their Prime Day or whatever, I didn't know what to buy. I contemplated for like 2 days and I was like, oh, well.
It's okay.
It's gonna pass by.
You have the rest of this month and next month.
Yeah.
What about you?
We carved pumpkins.
Oh yeah, I saw in your video.
Yeah.
Cute.
I know, that was fun. We haven't painted our pumpkins yet. I bought little small pumpkins for us to paint on. And also I bought a small pumpkin for Renji, my dog, to paint on too. Because our coworker sent us a video of like they would take their dog's paw and put it in paint and then just kind of place it around the pumpkin.
Cute.
Yeah, and then draw like little eyes on them so they look like ghosts.
Oh my gosh.
So cute.
That is cute.
So I want to do that, but I just don't have any paintbrushes. I have paint. I don't know where all my paintbrushes went ever since. I don't know. From the move, we were just like, oh, let's toss them. We're like, what happened? But they're gone now, so we have to go buy paintbrushes.
Girl, dollar store.
If anything. And then what else have we done? That's about it. I think we were supposed to go to a pumpkin patch last week, but then got a little busy, so wasn't able to go. The other thing too is that we were able to make spooky baskets for each other.
Yep. Yep.
But so
this is like what our
second
year.
So that's been fun. It's fun to do that every year.
It is fun.
This year was just a little bit harder because I didn't like. There wasn't
It's okay,
much
girl.
of a selection.
Me too. I feel like I was just so like last minute too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh dang, I really should have just done it when everything came out in September. But you think like you wouldn't need to like look for stuff, but you really
and
do.
also you're like not excited to look at it yet, you know, because you're like, oh, it's not even time yet. It's like right now, like they have all their Christmas stuff out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, so cute, but I'm not buying anything until Christmas.
Did I tell you? Robert and I and us, and we went to Kohl's.
Okay.
They have all their Christmas stuff out, and they're playing Christmas music.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
think you did tell me that.
And then my sister texted too. She's like, "You guys, Kohl's is playing Christmas music." I'm like, "Yeah, it's only October.
That's too soon
That's
for
a
me.
little too early. November, I'm like okay with, but I'm like October already. Like,
Yeah, no.
let me have my Thanksgiving first."
It's always a competition. They're trying to jump ahead every time.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, but they should know Christmas always like overtakes everything anyway, because I feel like most of the time people love Christmas because of the Christmas giving and then the music and everything.
all that.
It's
So let me
just
ask you
crazy.
this: do you guys set up the Christmas tree in November or no?
I usually try to do it like the week after Thanksgiving or maybe 2 weeks after, but I don't ever do it before Thanksgiving.
If I could do it at the beginning, I would, but Robert doesn't let me, so I have to do it after Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, Nancy!
I tell him all the time, I'm like, can I do it? Can I set it up early so that it can sit longer, you know? Because like I feel like after Christmas, I want it down.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep it up. But like before, I'm like, let me do it early,
Yeah.
so then I can get excited.
No, and also then it's like worth it,
Yeah.
you know, because like a Christmas tree being up for only like 4 weeks, that doesn't sound long enough.
Yeah.
And it takes so much time putting it up
Yep.
and decorating it, and then just put everything back.
Yeah.
Because I hate putting everything back. That's the worst part.
No, it's true.
It don't ever fit the same.
It never does.
I know this year I have 2 Christmas trees.
Are you gonna put both up?
I'm thinking about it because I'm really excited because I finally got a Christmas tree that's like flocked.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
And I bought like candy cane theme last year for my tree, but I want to do that on my flock tree because I think that'd be so freaking cute. Here we are talking about Christmas on our, on our Halloween episode.
We're ahead. We're just ahead.
Yeah, see, Christmas always takes it over, man. Shoot.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I don't know this year too. I want to do different ornaments, but it costs so much and then they sit. And I'm like, what am I going to do with that after? I don't know.
No, honestly though, that's the worst part because they take up so much storage too. Like I have like 4 boxes worth of Christmas stuff in my garage. I'm like,
I have like probably 4 5 sets of ornaments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't need all this. Like, I should get rid of it. But then
You can't,
yeah,
too.
you can't. Because then you're like, oh, what if I use it later on? Or what if I use this
it
color?
up.
Yeah. That's what I'm like, no, it's okay.
Annoying. I still use a lot of your Christmas ornaments you gave me my first year, too.
See? There you go. So,
For sure.
Yeah. We'll talk about Christmas later on.
Yeah.
So, our spooky episode.
Yeah. I know. So we are doing Halloween stories.
We found some on Reddit and some Hmong stories
I did some Hmong stories on
online as well.
These were anonymous too, so credits to whoever's story.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your scary experiences.
I couldn't read them because I was too scared.
Oh my gosh.
We will read this all together.
At least it's in broad daylight, so.
I know, that's why I was so happy. I was like, oh, I'm not going to have to be scared while I'm reading these.
I know, because me and my sisters, well, me and my one sister, my youngest sister, we like reading scary stories out loud to each other.
Oh my gosh.
It's like funny. But like, Chang likes to listen to them like actually tell the story, but I rather read it because it's not as scary. Because I can pause and like get scared and stuff, but whereas if they're telling it just continues, right? So we read this one scary story. It's about a grandma. It scared the crap out of me. And then I went to the bathroom to shower, and I kept thinking something was standing there outside my freaking shower or sitting on the toilet. I was like, oh my God, this is so scary. I need to stop. And I'm like, God, Nancy's story is going to scare me. I already know it.
I don't know. We'll see, because it's 2 of them.
Because mostly my stories are from Reddit, and they're more like sleep paralysis and how sleep paralysis feels like almost, you know. So maybe we'll figure out if we are getting, you know, sleep paralysis.
I don't think I have before.
Lucky Nancy.
But I don't know. I might have, and I probably thought it was something else. But me being me, I'm like, it's probably nothing. I'm probably just tired. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm just tired. That's probably what it is.
It's probably just me.
Or Robert just, you know, has his freaking dang whole body on top of me.
Chang's whole leg on me.
I can't. No, Robert is a freaking heater.
Yeah.
So whenever I feel him, like next to me, I'm like, I have to scoot away. Or like how I saw it somewhere where they're like, you're not like an actual couple until you sleep together in the same bed, but then you guys sleep on opposite sides. Because that's how Robert and I are. We have a king bed. We sleep on opposite sides. We'll cuddle whatever for a bit, and then once we like get sleepy and tired, then we'll split.
Oh my gosh. No, I think the other day Cheng and I napped together, and I literally held him like a baby in my arm.
Oh my gosh!
For like 3 hours, we took a nap, and then we kind of woke up, and then he like, you know, like wiped his face, and I was like, "Bruh, get off me right now!"
At least he lets you do that.
Yeah. No, so sometimes we'll hold each other, but most of the time we sleep. There's like a little gap in between us, so yeah, because we have a small blanket too. So we have to like share.
Y'all don't have 2 blankets?
No, because we like to know that each other's worried.
Oh my gosh,
like, we're there touching each other somehow. Even if it's my toe touching him, like at least I know he's there.
You're like, you're right there, okay. Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm not a really good reader. I hated reading. You know how like in class, you would read a paragraph and then the person next to you would read the next paragraph? Yeah, I hated that.
So presentation-wise, you're not that good?
We'll see. Because if I'm not nervous.
Okay, go Krystal.
Okay. I actually have it fairly often, so much now that I realize when it's occurring. These days, I just close my eyes and won't open them no matter what I feel or hear. Doing this, though, doesn't force me to wake up, and I still have to wait for it to end. I still feel and hear everything. Sometimes I feel like I'm being dragged somewhere or constantly feel like something's touching me along with muffled voices. Before I learned to cope with it, I've seen quite a few awful things. Horror films don't really do anything for me anymore because I've already seen the most terrifying things I already could. Here's a few things I remember off the top of my head. A little girl in the corner of my room staring at me. Then, without notice, she shrieks and runs up and starts choking me. Anything with a little girl scares the crap out of me. I can't.
No, anything with kids.
Yeah.
Anything with kids is scary.
I've never felt like I've been dragged away, but I feel like I'm dreaming like I'm being dragged away.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like I don't know if you've ever felt like your body feels so heavy and you have to get somewhere, but like you're like crawling, but as slow as you can. Like you can't get to the destination. Like that's literally, I don't know if that's just my dream or if I'm actually feeling something.
I don't even know.
I don't know. I have those dreams a lot though. Okay. Another incident is a large dark figure, kind of a human silhouette, emerging from the foot of my bed and staring down at me. Something banging and scraping on my bedroom door. I keep it locked at night because I had ones where it opens by itself. No, the door isn't open when I wake up. It only opens in the dream, which I'm kind of confused. I'm like, so is it open or is it not?
That's kind of scary.
Have you ever had it where your door was open when you woke up?
No. The only time it's open is if Robert leaves or Aston comes in the room.
Our door is always open.
Oh, it's always open?
Yeah, because...
Well, I used to do it where I don't like the door open.
You guys are scary. I can't do that.
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to have to, like, close the door every time I sleep. Because at our first apartment, I had those doors closed every freaking night. I remember telling Robert, like, close the door. Close the bedroom door. But now we have it opened up because of Addison.
Oh,
yeah, you have a little human running around, so you don't want to be like, boom, 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 wakes you up, and you're just like...
Yeah.
And like human or what else is it? That's
all
scary.
right.
Okay, my bedroom door opening by itself, followed by dark figures coming into my room. The earliest one I can remember is my mother in the room, and she's sitting on my bed. Her face morphs into a demon-like thing. The worst thing is when you try to fight or call for help, your voice doesn't work and your body will not respond. You just feel helpless. I need to stop trying to remember these things. I'm getting chills. So like, I don't know, like reading these, I don't really get scared. Because, like, I've never had these encounters either. But I feel like if it was you that it was happening to, it'd be so freaking scary.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, you won't know until it happens. Like, you know, some people are like, oh, yeah, I would do this. I would act like this. But then I'm like, well, wait until it happens to you. Then see how you're going to react. Because it can be completely different from the way you're saying how you're going to react to it.
Because I think I would freeze.
Yeah.
I would be so scared. I just close my eyes so tight. Like, this guy, I just close my eyes and pray that it just ends.
Yep.
Okay, this one is just kind of talking about like what sleep paralysis kind of feels like.
Okay.
So it says sleep paralysis for me, apart from the obvious paralysis part, it usually is accompanied by sheer and unimaginable terror. It takes different forms, but it tends to be a pitch black creature of some sort. And all I can say is that it's 100 times more terrifying than anything you can imagine while you're sitting there fully awake and conscious. You imagine and visualize this thing which you have no escape from, and there's nothing you can do apart from hoping it ends soon. Also, you might try to move or speak, but you never really know if you're doing it in real life or in a semi-dream state. It takes a tremendous amount of effort either way. I remember once waking up in sleep paralysis and trying to call to someone and hearing my brother on the other side of my door asking if I was trying to talk to him. My brother doesn't live with me, but it seemed absolutely real at the moment. I've never heard voices. I think that would scare the crap out of me, is voices.
Oh, yeah.
Like running, like hearing people run around your house and like laughing or like kind of mutter talking. I think that would scare the crap out of me.
That's why I can't do it with this apartment already. I be hearing freaking the kid running. I'm like, what the heck?
No, but at least like you have like something to be like, okay, that's what it is. Like if you're in a house by yourself and you have no kids.
No.
Yeah, imagine your daughter just sitting in her room just laughing, just like.
Hey, no. Sure, if I did that, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? I mean, I already do that to her, but I feel like I would really be more like, what the heck are you doing? No, that'd be scary.
It's too scary.
It's just, I feel like it's so sad though when it comes to kids, because it's like they're so innocent and they don't know. Like they don't know like exactly like what they're seeing, you know, like they don't know what it is. They just think it's like a human being or whatever, or like not that like I would hope a kid get possessed or anything, but like if they do, then it's like they don't even know, you know.
Like they can't tell the difference.
Yeah, they can't tell the difference. So anything with kids is just like scary and sad.
Would you be freaked out if Addison had like an imaginary friend?
Hell yeah.
What would you do? Would you like actually talk to it and stuff, or
hell no? I'd be like, that's fake. Heck no, I would tell her that's fake. That's not real.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes, like earlier today, she was like, I don't know what she was doing. She was like saying something to herself.
Okay.
And she like was laughing, and I was like, she comes in here, I'm like, who are you talking to?
Oh my God.
She's like, myself. So I'm like, okay, at least she's saying myself rather than, oh, my imaginary friend. Like, I don't even know if she knows what an imaginary friend is yet, though.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm like,
yeah.
She does role play, you know that, right?
She does role play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's okay. As long as she's both characters, it's fine.
yeah.
But when it's just her playing one character and talking to the space, it's like, oh, shoot.
I'll be like, girl, we're gonna have to go get grandma and grandpa.
It says sleep paralysis happens to me about 2 times a week. At first, it was terrifying. The feeling of thinking you're awake but not being able to move your body is horrific. You're lying in bed trying your hardest to move a single part of your body, but it's not happening. Sometimes you try to fall back to sleep in the dream only to wake up again and nothing has changed. You feel like you will never come out of this. All I want is to wake up in the real life. This has been happening to me ever since I can remember and figured it was normal. Sometimes I have an out-of-body experience where it feels like I'm still laying in bed, but I can freely walk around and control what is happening around me. My sister says that all the time.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me about it, and Ching had told you that she needs to stop.
Yeah.
Is it still happening?
Sometimes.
Is she not freaked out by it?
No, she's not freaked out about it. She's just like, yeah, I just had another dream where, like, I can, like, see me actually sleeping, and I'm just, like, walking around in the room. And I'm like, okay, that's freaking scary.
Like, is it, like...
Is she, like, in a different realm, or what is this? That's freaking scary. I don't know. Then there are days where I can't tell if I'm still awake or not, because everything feels so real. These were starting to freak me out, having panic attacks while I was asleep, so I did some research on how I can tell if I'm asleep or not. I read that if you look in a mirror and don't see your reflection, you are asleep. Once I realized I can control what happens, I started bringing back dead relatives to talk with. Everything seems so real. These can last from several minutes to an hour or so. I don't know if I would hallucinate that hard, though.
That's scary.
Yeah, like, no. They said that, my sister said that, like, to kind of tell if you're sleepy or not is if you, like close your hand. And if you can, like, if your fingers go through your hand, then you're sleeping. But if it's not, then you're awake. I'm
is that how she tells? She's able to tell?
This is my other sister now, though.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I told my other sister, my youngest sister, I was like, maybe you should try that to see, like, where you are and what's happening, because that's pretty scary.
Let me walk through the door.
Oh my god. Nancy just
oh
no. I'm awake.
No, that's scary funny. Though. Like,
no, and I don't even want to check my reflection. I don't want to know.
Oh no.
Oh my god, what if I see something else?
Especially with all those horror films, they'd be like seeing like creepy ass stuff.
Oh yeah,
no.
That's too scary.
There they go.
When I was little, maybe 5, I would walk into my parents' bedroom to crawl into bed with them. Many times when walking into their room, I would see a young girl in a white dress standing at the foot of their bed. I would be paralyzed with fear, but being young, I don't think I understood what I was seeing. I would take agonizing steps forward until I could crawl into bed and then cover myself completely in their blankets. She never moved, spoke, or acknowledged my presence. She was just there.
That's freaking scary.
See, kids don't know the difference.
They don't. I feel like, yeah, like at a certain age they might, but like I feel like if they're like 6 and younger, it's a little like, no, I even feel when they're like 6, they know. Maybe it's like more like toddler is when they can't really tell.
Yeah, like I can't tell what's scarier is when they don't know or when they do know, because then they're like, oh look, mom, there's a monster, and you're like, wait, hold on here.
Yeah.
That's scary. Or when they start pointing at stuff and like telling you, and I'm like, oh no. Dad doesn't ever do that?
No.
Oh, good.
I don't think she has. Huh.
No.
I don't think she has.
My little cousins have.
I mean,
so
like
scary.
my nephew has.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he'll be like, Mao, a Mao.
Oh
and then you're really like, but I don't know if it's just because like he's saying stuff sometimes too.
To get a reaction or something?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
I know like sometimes
I almost don't want to know.
No, especially with little kid, and he's like only like, well, he's 2 now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you see what I mean? That's why I'm
scary.
like, maybe it's like with toddler where it's a little bit more scary because it's like, yeah, they're still learning so much of the world and like things and words and all that. So it's like, you don't really know if they're seeing what they're saying.
Yeah. Oh, that's scary. Okay, this last one isn't really like sleep paralysis or anything. It's just like kind of like a scary story that I wish never happens to me. Probably won't, but okay. Don't have any way to verify whether this is actually a family story or whether it was an urban legend. But here, my family has lived in rural Nebraska since they immigrated from Germany in the mid-1800s. Near the turn of the century, diseases was pretty rampant in the homesteading area, and it killed off members of almost every family. When someone died from illness, time of the essence in burying them, as not to let the virus spread from the deceased to the living. This meant no wake periods. So an aunt of some unknown number of greats preceding her relationship to me dies of some disease, and she gets buried in my family cemetery on the homestead. The dogs were very fond of her, so it wasn't too surprising that after the funeral, the 2 dogs stuck near the grave. The rest of the family began to think something of it when, a week and a half later, the dogs were still visiting her grave almost constantly. But they weren't just at the grave, they were visibly distressed, frantic, and often barking while there. This goes on for maybe 2 weeks when the family decides to check it out. They dig up the casket and open it. The deceased's hair has been pulled out. Her fingers are raw and bloody and mangled from where, on the inside of the casket door, they can see deep scratches in the wood. She was in a comatose when they buried her, and she came to while underground, spending probably her last 5 or so days alive in a buried casket. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that's so scary. I think that's gonna be another one of like worst ways to die.
Yeah.
So that is true.
Huh?
That's true.
He doesn't know if it's true or not, or if it's just like a family urban legend.
But back in the days when they had that kind of like plague.
Yeah.
That
so,
I can understand.
Yeah, so they'll attach a bell to the tombstone.
Oh yeah, my sister was telling me that.
Yeah,
to
pull it if they're still alive, because if they have diseases, they'll bury them right away, and then they'll attach the string to the coffin. So if you hear that bell ring, that means they're still alive.
Oh my gosh.
That's
So
scary.
yes, it's an urban legend, but it's also true.
No, I can't. Even
I
with
feel
the
like
bells,
that
I think
would
I
be
would
like
scared.
old. That's like an old story then. Because I feel like nowadays, I feel like they're usually really good about like burying people. Like,
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, COVID, but like diseases aren't that contagious as it used to be. So, but that was just a scary story that I added in there too for the fun of it, because I thought, oh my god, what a horrible way. And those poor dogs, man.
I know, poor dogs are like,
so
my owner is
sad.
still alive.
I know, someone come save her. Like, oh, that would be my Rangy. No, he'd probably leave me to die. But like.
Our coworker, she said that, I didn't know this, but she was like, did you know, like, if you like pass away, that you should let your dog sniff you, so they know that you passed away. And I was like, that's sad.
That's so sad.
Like, I would not want my dog there if I was dead.
I know.
Like, don't come sniffing me. But then I don't want the dog to be waiting on me too and be like
looking
super
for
sad
you.
and everything. Yeah.
Thinking that you abandoned them. Yeah.
Or her dog start eating you.
Heck no. Goodbye, dog.
If I'm already gone and he's stuck with me, like say I'm like my body got thrown in a tornado or something, and it's just me and him, and he gotta survive, I'm like, go ahead, buddy. Because it's so sad when like those like when some people kind of die by themselves, and like say like they go into a shed or something and pass away there or whatever, and they take their dog with them, and their dog doesn't leave. Like, there's a way the dog can go, but he doesn't leave his owner because he doesn't want to leave him. So the dog ends up passing away with them too. And I'm like, that's so freaking
so
sad.
I would never want that. No.
But yeah, those are just a couple of my scary stories. Do you want me to read my monk story?
Oh yeah, no, read your Hmong one.
Okay.
I want to know.
Gosh, let's see how good my Hmong is, though. Okay.
Is it all in Hmong?
Huh? No, it's not, girl.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say mine's all. There's all in English. So
Let's see if you're fluent.
Not really. I have to read like the English version of it and then translate it in Hmong. Oh. And then I'm able to read it. Okay, so this one's called The Crying Woman.
Oh, I didn't even take the names of it.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is another scary folklore that took place in Laos during the time when my grandma was a child. It was the year 1947 in a small village called Hunamu.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. When my grandma's uncle, who was an old bachelor in his late 30s, married a young woman from another village that was a few miles away. The girl was already engaged to her boyfriend, but my grandma's uncle dragged her back to the village by force with help with his friends. which was normal back then. I don't know if it's still normal now. When they were dragging her, she screamed and called for help, but no one came to help her. Here's a little side note. When she was screaming in fear and agony, she probably attracted a bonzong, which is why she died later on. So bonzong and boda is usually like a female.
It tends to be a female, like
a, what would you call it? Like a demon, evil spirit, maybe. Yeah.
Pretty much just the evil spirit.
Yeah.
Robert could insert a photo if he wants.
No, please don't, because I watched the YouTube
Oh,
video.
okay, never mind.
I'm all watching it, pops up. I'm like,
It's usually like
I throw the
a
mouse.
lady dressed in our traditional clothes with her hair just like down on her face.
and like her skin's like blue and
Yeah.
rotting and gross. Ugh, my nightmare. A few months have passed and the girl continued to live in despair. She was so depressed that she took her life by eating poison. She committed suicide in the forest at the area where the villagers would go cut wood. A few hours after her death, my grandma's family found her body when they went to go cut wood. It was lying behind a rotting tree trunk. The girl was already turning purple and foam was coming out from her mouth. My grandma said she died with her eyes open and her body had an awful stench. They took her back to the village and prepared a funeral for her. My village did not have a ziklang, which is a bamboo flute blower, so my grandma's dad and uncle had to go call one from another village. That day they were doing her funeral, the bamboo flute blower was blowing his glang, which is the flute, around the dead girl and hearing a voice saying, "To love or not, I died without closing my eyes." He was wondering why someone would say something like that, but he had to finish his job.
Ooh, I got it. Luchi's
Scary. Again, while blowing his glang, he heard a woman saying, "Luchilu la chita como." Oh, okay, yeah. So basically, what she said earlier was, "To love or not, I died without closing my eyes." He was a little freaked out, but had to continue. It happened for the third time, and he was curious as who was saying it. He decided to look at the coffin to see if it was the dead girl. Oh my god, I can't. When I get to this part, I always get scared. When he looked at the dead girl, he saw her with her eyes opened and smiling back at him. Her eyes were moving and following him wherever he went. He froze and shook from immense fear. He had been at Ziklang for a while, but had never come across a situation like this. He dropped his glang and ran out of the house. The people were confused as to why he took off and went to ask him. He could not talk back, but he kept shaking. They went back into the house, and for some reason, the room looked darker than usual.
Oh my gosh.
They started smelling a foul stench, and then they heard a knocking sound coming from the coffin. Oh God, I can't. I don't want to read this part. Okay. It went knock knock, sho la chi sho, knock knock, your show, which is get up or not to get up, getting up, getting up. They were all spooked at this point, and the elders said that they will have to haste up the funeral because this one will be coming back as a walking corpse. They finished the funeral quickly that day and buried her. Many months have passed, and from my grandma's point of view, she and her friends were going to the area that the girl died to chop woods. When they got there, they heard a woman's cry. My grandma was still too young to know anything at the time, but she remembered that her older cousins were so scared and kept whispering in each other's ears. They decided to turn back because they were too afraid to walk any further. My grandma and her friends were not the only ones to hear the woman crying. Many of the villagers who went to that part of the forest to chop wood or around the location would hear the same thing. They said that if you would say her name or even talk about her tragic story, she would show herself to you and follow you home. She would play with the pots and pans in the kitchen, and at night she would stand at the edge of the bed and drag you off your bed with her cold hands. If you want to avoid her angry ghost from haunting you, just try not to think or talk about her. But it was really hard not to do this, so the villagers banned that area and found a different part of the forest to chop wood.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah. Ew. I can't. I can't. I just can't imagine.
It's so crazy. Like, I feel like a lot of the Hmong ghost stories, they were so scary back then.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a little bit worse, more worse than nowadays.
And like, I don't know if it's just because it like really happened to them or they just wanted the story to be so interesting that they just kind of like threw whatever they could in it.
That's scary though.
Did you want to hear a true story from me?
Yes.
What?
So during the war, when they were all escaping, this one's one of my aunts. So during the time when my aunt was running, and then she found a lady, that's just standing there You know how like they're running around in the forest escaping. So she found a lady like just standing there, and then my aunt was like 我讲跟你别这里梦，别在，你拿不到了， and then she was just and then
You gotta translate that.
okay, so pretty much she said was, hurry, we gotta go, the enemies are coming. So then the lady said to my aunt was like,
You can say it, Mom.
yeah, so the lady was like, so pretty much translate, I need you to hold me for a moment. So then my aunt held the lady in her hands, and then the lady was like, so that translate was like, I already died. I just wanted some warmth for the moment before I go.
Oh my gosh.
So then, in a few moments, the lady stood up, my aunt stood up, and the lady walked off in the opposite direction, and then my aunt ran the opposite direction, never seeing her again.
That's so scary.
Heck no,
Did you guys see that one Hmong scary movie that was gonna come out or something? It's about like lovers.
What?
I don't know what it's called, but Chang's cousin shared it on Facebook. And it's just like a little trailer of them too. But like it's just like they were lovers, whatever, and then some reason she passed away, whatever. And then she keeps showing up at his house, but she's like dragging something.
Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
what it is. I can't remember what it is. But she's dragging something around his house, right? And then she finally shows up in front of his door, and it's so scary because like you know how like everything just seems darker when you see like those evil spirits. So she turns and then she goes inside the house, and like he sees her and he thinks it's normal, right? And then she like sits away from him, but like she's like covering her face like this with her hair, sitting like this. And her hands are here, and her hands are like blue and black and stuff. It's so scary. And he's like, oh, like, why don't you look at me? What's wrong? And he goes over and he like touches her hands, and he's like, oh, you're like so cold.
He doesn't know she's dead.
He doesn't know. Oh. And she's like, oh, it's just because I'm really cold. And he's like, okay. And then she turns around, and then the next clip is him just like running, right? And like I hate it because they don't ever run, okay? They just walk.
But they walk like hella freaking fast.
Yeah, and he's running and she's like walking after him, and I'm like, oh, that's so freaking scary.
That's scary though. Oh my god. No, I would not want to be part of like any horror movie.
Too, like, how do you guys see all
It's scary because like there's even those actors and actresses that like stuff happens to them after or during when they film like any horror films.
I would not.
I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah. I don't want to do that. No.
I would not contribute to any of that.
Facebook probably, honey. That's scary. I get scared of those type of stuff. Like there's a new Hmong song.
Oh gosh.
It's not really new, but it's pretty much like a guy. He's like, it's him and a rapper. But it's pretty much since he chokdenga, like blow the whistle. He's one of the best ones. Cause I think with that, don't they like? I don't know what if you know, but they have it like you're kind of ranked in a way. I think.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but like, cause in the song it was like saying that like he's like one of the ones that is good at blowing the flute and this and that. And then you see like the guy walking with his girlfriend, and like he's like, oh, I have to take you to your home, or it was like I have to take you somewhere. I think it was home. I have to take you home, and ends up that during that whole time that he's thinking that the girl is thinking that he's just walking her home, he's pretty much dropping her off to the Reapers. And he's like, this whole time you've been dead for a couple of days now. I'm just showing you the way to where you'll be now. And then like finding out flashbacks, and like he's blowing the flute. It's scary because like I feel like in the video they made it look like the Reaper kind of looked kind of scary and dark, but then it's so sad because it's like he's blowing that flute to show her the way there when she's dead.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness! But still, yeah, I'm like, aw,
that's beautiful though.
Sad.
I never knew. Like, I give props to the people who like can understand whatever, the flute. Because my grandparents, they can understand every single word that's coming out of that flute. And I'm like, just sounds like an instrument to me.
Yeah, it just sounds like an instrument to me.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
My uncle from my mom's side, he used to blow it. He would always have to go blow it at the funerals or like events. Like he was always going. But I don't think he does it anymore. But like he used to do it a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did your parents ever tell you any scary stories?
My dad probably did. My mom doesn't really. But then it's been so long.
My mom told us a scary story when we went camping. And my siblings, we all still remember the story. Well, we only remember bits and pieces, so I'm only going to tell you the pieces I remember. I don't really know what happened in, like, the end. Okay. But I just know that it was about these two lovers. They wanted to get married, they run off and get married because their parents wouldn't let them get married. So they made a plan to meet at a big cliff, because over the cliff was, like, this river, right? And they said that they were going to meet each other there and then run off and get married, blah, blah, blah. So she's waiting there, and she waits and waits and waits, and he never shows. She keeps waiting there, and then a group of guys come, and they brutally, like, rape her and kill her and throw her over the river.
Yeah.
But she still stays there waiting for him, right? God. And so I don't know if he forgot, I can't remember, but then he starts hearing her call for him, right? Yeah. And she's calling for him, and he finally goes up to the cliff, right? And he sees her there, and she's just kind of like sitting there waiting for him. And he doesn't know that she's dead, of course, because somehow they never know that they're dead. But I feel like I would be able to, like, I could tell the difference. Even like the mood, you could read the room and everything. Like, it's not them.
Oh no.
But anyway, so this is the only part I remember is that he goes up to her. And he touches her, and then he just gets, like, a flashback of everything that happened to her. Oh. Yeah, it's just so sad. But I don't remember what happens after that.
That's so sad. Like, those stories. Those scary stories.
She pushed him off the cliff.
Probably to take him with her.
I would believe
she waited for him, and he didn't show, because that'd be me with Chang. I'm taking you with me. The heck?
That's scary. No.
Okay, let's read your stories.
Okay, let's see. It says, true story time. Oh, gosh. I was about 4 or 5 years old. Okay, this one's from Reddit, okay?
Okay.
This is true story. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had my own room, but I preferred to sleep in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of a hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in her room, which was directly behind the bed, above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and remember sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the front door frame of my mom's room. Her door was open, and you could partially see into my bedroom. This was strange because our cat was typically always in bed with us. I was watching him. He walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and wake her up. In the 3/4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong. We both looked back in the door frame, and there was a man standing by my open door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor, and it was maybe a 3-foot drop to the ground. Oh. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. But the police came but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man must have exited that way. The strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with the deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen, opened up our water heater closet, and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The police were called again, but all they could do was speculate that the man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep. It says, edit, just to clarify, our apartment was on the ground level, so my mother didn't hurl me into potential paralysis, just a 3-ish foot drop to grass. That's scary. Gosh. That's not really like a ghost story, but still, like,
it's okay, I know.
Moving into a new place. Oh yeah, that's why I look everywhere. I look at every freaking door because I'm like,
Yeah, like a lot of the Reddit stories I read too, there was a lot like that where like people would move into like their brand new houses and they would hear voices or footsteps or like coughing and stuff. And then they get so freaked out, they'd call the cops and the cops would come and they'd find like people in their house. Just like when people like realtors coming into the house forgetting to lock the doors and stuff, and just random people trying doors trying to get into the house and stuff.
Crazy. It's called squatters.
Squatters.
Yeah, but then the fact is some of these squatters are freaking scary. Like, what the heck?
So please lock your doors. Don't.
Every night.
Don't
That's why I
forget.
tell Robert I want a third lock on our door.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm scared. Like, my door.
Yeah? Is it not tight?
I feel like I feel it's locked because the sill, I think it's so old that we need to change it.
Oh.
So it's a little scary, but still, I'm like, I'd rather be safe and have that lock.
No, for real. I don't even know what we would do. Because, like, that's why I always tell my sisters to lock their doors because, like, I never know what's going to happen to because someone could walk in and just be trying doors and stuff like that. So, I mean, if they get in the house, scary. But I just don't want them getting into someone's room, you know?
Yeah.
But it'll be harder when we have kids, so.
Lock all your bedroom doors.
Make sure all your windows are closed, please.
I thought this one was all ghost scary one.
Oh.
It's okay. Still, it's okay. This one is one of the Hmong ones.
Okay.
It says, this story had happened many years ago when my husband and I were going through a rough patch. At that time, my husband worked graveyard shifts, so he was hardly around. Because of our constant arguing and bickering, our home soon felt dark and lonely. During that time, our daughter was only 4 years old. This one particular night that my husband was off, we argued again. I packed my belongings, took our daughter, and headed to my parents' house. They lived at least 20 minutes away. After hours of getting lectured, my parents made me go back home. They had told me they didn't want a divorced daughter and would not take me back if I divorced my husband. I had no choice but to head back home. At this time, it was already around 9 p.m. I cried along the way as I was driving. I didn't want to go back into that broken home yet, so I kept driving and driving. We made a spot to a nearby park. I parked there and just cried. I told my daughter nothing was wrong when she asked me why I keep crying. Suddenly,
Oh, no.
my daughter goes, "Mommy, there's a grandma outside the door. I think she wants to come in."
Oh, no. Don't look.
She said, I immediately stopped crying and looked around. My heart dropped. There was no one. I felt the hairs on my body stood up and raced back home. I called my husband and asked him to wait by the door for me. He asked me what's going on. I told him just to wait and I'll tell him later. Once we got home, I grabbed my daughter and ran back inside the house as my husband was waiting by the door. I didn't tell him anything till the next day. I explained to him what happened and he yelled at me to do something so stupid. He also told me that when he looked out the window and saw my car pulling up, he thought I had brought my mom over to talk to us.
Stop.
When he opened the door and waited, no one was there, so he thought he saw wrong. We moved out months after that and did a ritual.
Oh, no.
And in the comments, I was saying, Krystal, in the comments of the story, it was like, somebody was like, this is why you don't ever go to a random place and just cry. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, don't do that. That tracks.
That's scary. It tracks different stuff.
And also because you're so, like, emotional and distraught and stuff, so, like, your will is a little bit weaker than it usually is. Yeah. So, of course, something could attach itself to you and follow you home.
Anywhere.
Like, I hate those stories where, like, the driving stories where they're, like, driving for, like, hours and they keep seeing something on the road.
Oh, heck no.
Oh, my God.
Robert has the story, but it's
no.
funny. Robert's is funny, though.
Okay.
But...
So here's my story. So as I was driving from California to Utah, so it seems like I haven't slept, but I haven't lost focus on the road, right? So you know how you're on the driver's seat driving?
Okay.
So you're looking on the road. So on the bottom of, so you're focusing on the road, and then I saw, the Final Fantasy dancing cactus.
No, I don't remember. I never watched this because I was so scared.
It was actual.
Oh, okay. So they're...
Okay. So as I was driving, I see this moving around.
Bruh.
He had no cactus in his damn car, too.
So, I have no cactus in my car. I was just driving. I was like, Nancy, this may sound weird,
What time was it? Do you remember?
It was at night.
Oh, okay.
But you know how like you're so focused,
Yeah.
and it's like a 10-hour drive. So I think like I pounded like a rock star or something, and I was driving, and I told Nancy, I was like, Nancy, this may sound weird, but I see a dancing cactus, and it's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I see a dancing cactus, and then she was like, what is it? I'm like, look it up, Final Fantasy cactus. So just imagine this picture right here.
Yeah.
Moving around while you're driving, like at the bottom of your eye, above the dashboard.
Oh my
you
gosh.
know that empty space?
Yeah.
So imagine just like dancing around.
Okay.
And I was like,
Were you even scared?
No.
Okay.
Probably, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm probably tired, but I could see it dancing, and I'm just like, this is weird. Mm-hmm. But nothing off about
weird
it.
happened.
Yeah, nothing weird happened.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me that.
No, because
something was
I told
down
you
there.
it's not scary.
It's not scary.
It's
It's
just
funny.
It was just weird and like
Funny.
he was like hallucinating.
Yeah, just like you're driving and you see that, you're just like,
You're like, what the heck? Huh?
like that. I'm like, that's weird. My mind's trying to picture it, but you know, like you're looking at the glass too, so you can see it, like the it
movement.
Yeah, the movement. So you're just like,
And you're like, that's weird.
That's weird. Yeah. So just continue driving.
No, like one time, Cheng and I were driving to Fillmore, and he's driving, and I don't know why I'm tired, but I'm like kind of like in and out. And you know, like when you're like staring at something for too long, you start seeing like black patches or something, right? And I think that's what I was doing, but I didn't really know because I was like in and out. And then I looked, and like the truck that was in front of us had like, it looked like black was going all over it, right? And it looked like Cheng was going to hit into it. So I'm laying down and I see, I'm like, what the heck? And I get up, I'm like, and Cheng's like, what? What is it? I'm like, did you not see that? And he was like, dude, you need to relax. He's like, there's nothing there. And I was like, are you sure? I swear I saw something on that truck, dude. And he's like, no, you're going crazy. He's like, just go to sleep. If you're going to be scary, just go to sleep. But I almost jumped out of my seat because I was like, oh my God, that's going to jump on our car. We're going to die right now.
Gosh.
So you saw Venom.
Yeah, I saw Venom for real. I didn't know if it was Venom or Black Shadow. I couldn't tell. It was too scary.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one is another Hmong story.
Okay.
I'm so glad I didn't get those pictures with it because they were scary.
Yeah, girl, no. We're good.
So this today and yesterday was not only the scariest thing my girlfriend and I witnessed, but the worst. We decided to go on a vacation in the woods where we will be renting a cabin for the weekend. Several friends came along, and to make things more amusing, just after arriving to our cabin, I had a strange, airy feeling that we weren't the only ones.
Oh.
Could I possibly be exaggerating? But something tells me otherwise. It was a long trip and we were exhausted. Finished unpacking and decided to settle down and cook. After dinner, we had thought that it's time for bed. That's when it came to me. We wasn't alone. Approximately at 2:47 a.m., I woke up to a strange sound. A child crying downstairs.
Oh.
Terrified, I ran into the room, woke up the friends closest to the restroom to ask if they can hear what just happened. To no concern of them, they fell back asleep. Having the courage to go into my room, I heard multiple footsteps from all over the cabin. Quickly woke up the girlfriend to stay up and asked if she can hear what was going on. Waking her up had quieted down on what was happening to me. Staying up, we decided to turn on the TV and watch a few hours until sunrise. Sun came up and I waited until I hear doors open from the others before I can open mine. We all headed downstairs for breakfast. Having the incident happen to me, I explained what had happened. They all laughed and thought I was jokingly laughing with them. I thought it'll be nice to go out sledding. When coming back, I had the same feeling happening, as if I don't want to be here. So soon after entering the cabin, I felt my hair rising up. The minute I knew, I jokingly asked if they wanted to leave. Of course they wanted to stay. It was a vacation. Lunch came into dinner and nightfall came. Again, I had the same incident happen, but with a girlfriend staying up with me. We both heard it. A cry, footsteps coming from downstairs, then footsteps upstairs where our room is located.
Oh, God.
Seconds became minutes when soon enough the doorknob decided to turn.
Oh.
To my knowledge, it looked like it wanted to come in. Quickly running to lock the door quietly opened. Slamming the door, locking it, I look under to see a pale face looking right back. Frightened, I turn back to my girlfriend to realize she's under the blanket, scared to death. Cried for help, but no one can hear her. We got under the blanket, and it seemed something was in the room with us. Bed pushed down from our feet, we kicked nothing. Blanket starts to get lifted from our feet. Eye opening, it was a figurine of a pale woman. We jumped out of bed and ran into our friend's room, woke up our friends to explain, but my girlfriend started sobbing, going into a seizure attack. Not normal because it was her first time. Called 911 and ended up at the hospital and out of the cabin. At the hospital, morning came. We thought it was time to go get the luggage and come back to the hospital. Nothing happened when we entered the cabin, but of course, I had the same feeling still. Heading back to the hospital, entering the room, my girlfriend was acting strange.
Oh no.
She laughed at the incident that had happened to us. Later that day, she was released and prescribed some medication. Decided at home, I explained what had happened to my friends. Taken from their view, they apologized for mistakenly thinking I was lying. Home we were, the girlfriend and I decided to head to bed, me staying awake while watching the girlfriend sleep. A few minutes pass and I hear a mumble from her. She wakes up to look at me, telling me she's seen what had happened to us in her dream. She even said that she felt the thing grab her, pull her away from me while her eyes were open. She told me she couldn't talk nor move while I was there. Yeah, I couldn't even notice that. Was it sleep paralysis? Did it take her spiritually? Still scared, the person said, still scared. Should I talk to my parents about it? Could it be that when the door opened, it was already inside?
Oh my god.
Especially when you're not home. That's why I get so scared. Like, even with like hotels, Airbnbs. After like the Vegas trip, I talked about it in our previous episode about what happened with my family. Yeah, what previously happened, like, I swear it was like a couple years ago, but still, about like the whole Vegas house, like it's so scary. Like, I even felt like it would, like, if someone was to, like, a friend was to come up to me and say that type of stuff, I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna question it. Like, I'm not gonna be like, of course I'm gonna look at them like, wait, are they dead ass serious? Like, if it looks like they're joking, then I'm like, oh no, you're just joking. But if they come to like me with a straight face and I'm like, yeah, way out of here, we're gonna go. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you this, Krystal. So if you go somewhere and you leave, do you call your spirit?
Yeah, we do, because I always get scared that one of us will get stuck there or something, because you never know. So, and my mom used to do it all the time too, like when we'd go traveling or even like up north and stuff like that. She would call our spirits to make sure that we weren't lost and to come home, because I can't imagine.
No, we do that with Addison too.
Oh, you guys do? Yeah.
It's scary, like, especially with kids.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, these kid stories, if we had looked it up. No, I'd be scared shitless.
I can't.
I'll be like, Robert, can you read it?
I know.
I'm just scared.
I hate it because I always scan it before I read it too, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to say it out loud. No, I wanted to ask you guys if you guys know what that tiger bonzong is. Yeah, like Georgie or something like that.
What is that?
It's like a tiger.
Like
Jane told me
demon?
it was like this lady who was like very outcasted in her village, and so she told them she was gonna become a tiger. So she died and she became a tiger, and she would come and like destroy your house and like climb on your roofs and stuff like that.
My story is different. My story is about the battle.
Because me and my sister, we read this story. Okay, this is the grandma story I was telling you guys at the beginning, okay? And it was just about this grandma who was living... Okay, so it was this girl, and her family invited her grandma to come live with them. Okay, because she was living previously with her other son, which is the girl's uncle, right? But so the grandma comes and starts living with them. But like during the day, she sleeps all day. But at night, she roams, right? And she doesn't say anything. And she like acts funny at night and stuff. And so one night, well, I guess someone had passed away. So her parents had to go to a funeral, right? So they had left and the grandma was with them. So they're just all hanging out, whatever. And then one of the sister comes running, right? And she's like, hey, grandma's turned into a bangzong. So an evil spirit, right? And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, she's freaking scary. So they close the door, and the grandma, she's just like pounding on the door. telling them to open up the door, right? And she's laughing and
oh my God.
being super crazy. And they're all crying, huddling together, and they're so scared. And finally, their parents come home, and her dad yells at his mom, which is the grandma. Yeah. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you scaring your grandkids? Why are you doing that? Whatever. She's like, oh, sorry. I just was doing it for fun. Right? That's what she said. And so he had called his brother, which his mom was living with previously. And he was like, yeah, like, mom was doing that to the kids too. Like, she would chase them around the house.
What the heck?
And, like, yeah, and scare them. And, like, they would have to lock themselves in their rooms because they were so freaking scared.
Oh my gosh.
And so I guess they had to leave again the next night too. So the dad told his daughter and was like, hey, like, if grandma starts acting weird, just call us and we'll come back, you know. And you guys just stay in this room. Nobody leaves. Do not open that door at all. Okay. So then the parents leave. They're in their room. They lock the door, right? And all her siblings are sleeping but her because she's so freaking scared, right? And soon enough, her grandma comes, right? She knocks on the door and she's like, hey, like, let me come in. You know, I miss you guys. I want to hang out with you guys. And she was like, sorry, grandma, I can't. Like, I don't want to. And then
she's stupid. She should have just kept her mouth shut, act like she was sleeping.
And then her grandma starts crying, right? And she's crying and she's like, you guys don't love me. You know, all of this. And then she starts getting mad, right?
Oh, my God.
And she starts pounding on the door again, trying to get in. And she's like, and then she stops and she says again, she's like, well, grandma's just hungry. Can you guys find grandma something to eat? I've been sleeping all day. Now I'm hungry. And the girl's just like, she's like, and then grandma's still crying. And she was like, oh, she almost opened the door because she felt so bad. But she knew deep inside, she was like, no, I can't open this door. So then she just stood there guarding the door for like ever. And then she was trying to call her dad. And he wouldn't answer.
Oh, my God.
So finally he answered. And she was like, grandma's acting crazy. Come home. So he runs home. They get her, whatever, and then they, like, do the whole, like, blessing and stuff like that to figure out what the heck is wrong with this grandma. And I think a couple weeks later, her grandma passed away. And I guess in her bloodline, her family line, she had, like, the tiger bloodline in her.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's just where they kind of, like, take over your body and they start, like, I don't know if they, like, eat you or what happens, honestly, once they catch you, but I was just thinking, like, how scary would it be if she freaking opened the door? Like, what would have happened?
This is a story of the Tiger King and the Turtle King.
Oh, okay.
So this is like folklore. So back during the war times, there would be the Tiger King, which is called like Jusha, like pretty much king of the sevens or something like that in the Hmong folklore. So what this happens is, you know how the Hmong people were escaping in the jungles and everything? So lost spirits, the Tiger King will go and claim them. Yeah, as lost spirits. And you know how the Hmong people cross the Mekong River?
Yes.
So the Turtle King will claim the lost souls that have perished in the river.
Oh.
Yeah. So the story goes was that they're both competing to increase their armies to go against each other. But the story goes that when the Tiger King crossed the river, the enemies gunned them down. Apparently the Tiger King died along the way. So the story was that if you wander into the jungle and then you meet this guy, it's just pretty much like they're gathering their armies to fight each other. So that's the Hmong folklore that I know off the top of my head.
There's probably so much scary ass.
That I don't know of too. I wish I knew more of them, because you know, like every different like culture or ethnicity. Yeah,
they have their own little.
They have their own little folklores and stuff. Yeah. I don't know many of ours, so.
I know you would think that we know more of ours, but not really. I think we're just. I mean, I'm a chicken shit, so I won't ask about it.
So let me give a shout out to Myths and Legends. It's a podcast talking about folklores. Oh, okay. There should be some that's in there. Shout out to them.
Well, I think that ends our episode. Yeah. A little too.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to tune in on YouTube. Just check out our outfits. We worked hard on them.
Just a little fun reading stories.
Yeah, so if you guys have any scary sleep paralysis or experiences or just experiences around Halloween, comment them below. We'd love to read them.
I want to know.
Yeah, because we don't experience anything like that. Thank God, too, though.
Yeah. So we don't know how it is.
But for sure, we'd be chicken shit. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.